Alright, this is the first example on factoring out the greatest common factor from a more complicated expression. So we're given the expression 8x cubed plus or times the quantity 5x minus 1 to the fifth power plus 50x to the fourth times the quantity 5x minus 1 to the fourth. And I want to factor out the greatest common factor. So this means that I'm looking at the greatest common factor between these two expressions. So first thing I need to do is go through and look for the numbers. The greatest common factor between 8 and 50 is 2. So first you look at the numbers. Next, I'm going to look at the variables that are not in the parentheses. I see x cubed and x to the fourth. X cubed is the greatest common factor between x cubed and x to the fourth. After I look at this variable expression, I'm going to look at the expression in parentheses, 5x minus 1 raised to the fifth power, and the quantity 5x minus 1 raised to the fourth power. The greatest common factor between these two expressions is 5x minus 1 to the fourth power. Look for the smaller exponent. So now, if I divided 2x cubed out of 8x cubed, there's 4 left, and I took 5x minus 1 to the fourth out of 5x minus 1 to the fifth. That leaves me with 5x minus 1 to the first power. Next, I'm going to look at these two expressions. So now, if you take 2 out of 50, you're left with 25. If you take x cubed out of x to the fourth, you're left with x. And if you take 5x minus 1 to the fourth power out of 5x minus 1 to the fourth power, you're not left with anything. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to simplify. That gives me 2x squared times 5x minus 1 to the fourth times 20x minus 4 plus 25x. And that gives me 2x squared times the quantity 5x minus 1 to the fourth times 45x minus 4. All right. Reviewing the steps. It's a common factor between the numbers, the next variable expression, and the quantity in parentheses. All right. All right. Next. All right. I'd like you to do this quick U-try. I have 10x to the fourth times the quantity 4x plus 3 to the fourth plus 48x to the fifth times the quantity 4x plus 3 to the fifth. Go ahead and pause the video and you're going to try it out. All right. So first thing, I'm going to look at the numbers. The greatest common factor between 10 and 48 is 2. The greatest common factor between x to the fourth and x to the fifth is x to the fourth. The greatest common factor between 4x plus 3 to the fourth and 4x plus 3 to the fifth is or x plus 3 to the fourth. Now, let's go term by term. If I take 2 out of 10, I'm left with 5. X to the fourth out of x to the fourth, I'm not left with any x terms. And then when I take 4x plus 3 to the fourth out of 4x plus 3 to the fourth, I'm not left with any terms. Next, plus. If I take 2 out of 48, I'm left with 24. I took x to the fourth out of x to the fifth, I'm left with x. Next, I'm going to take 4x plus 3 to the fourth out of 4x plus 3 to the fifth. I'm left with 4x plus 3. Let's simplify. That gives me 5 plus 4 times 24 is 96x squared plus 72x. Rewrite it in standard form. I got 2x to the fourth times 4x plus 3 to the fourth times 96x squared plus 72x plus 5. All right, now going off this idea, we're going to have to apply this concept when we're using the product rule and the chain rule. So now, first thing, find the derivative. All right, before I even start, I need to notice that I need a product right here. I have a product right here, so I'm going to need the product rule. So let's start applying the product rule. F prime of x equals, take the derivative of x to the fifth, you get 5x to the fourth times 5x minus 1 to the third plus x to the fifth times the derivative of 5x minus 1 to the third power. So I just applied the product rule. The derivative of a product is the derivative of the first function times the second plus the first function times the derivative of the second. Now we have to keep going. I see right here when I take this derivative, I'm going to need the chain rule because my inside function is 5x minus 1. The outside is u cubed. So now, I'm left with 5x to the fourth times the quantity 5x minus 1 to the third plus x to the fifth times. When I take this derivative, I bring the 3 to the front. Subtract 1 from the exponent, and I multiply by the derivative of the inside 5. From here, I have 5x to the fourth times 5x minus 1 to the third plus 15x to the fifth times 5x minus 1 squared. All right, now this looks similar to what we just did in kind of the background knowledge. So now to simplify this product rule all the way, I have to start factoring out common factors. So first thing I'm going to do is look between the two numbers, 5 and 15. The greatest common factor is 5. All right, we'll check mark there. Now I'm going to look between x to the fourth and x to the fifth. The greatest common factor is x to the fourth. All right, check these off. Now I'm going to look between 5x minus 1 cubed and 5x minus 1 squared. Our GCF is 5x minus 1 squared, the lower exponent. When I take 5x to the fourth times 5x minus 1 squared out of this first term, I'm left with 5x minus 1. When I take 5 out of 15, I'm left with 3. When I take x to the fourth out of 5x, x to the fifth, I'm left with x. When I take 5x minus 1 squared out of 5x minus 1 squared, I'm just left with nothing there. Let's combine our like terms. And we are finished. This looks a little bit simpler than before. All right. Go ahead and pause the video. You're going to try this one. All right, and then I'm going to get started right now. So again, I see I need the product rule. Take the derivative of x to the sixth, then times 2x plus 7 to the fourth, plus x to the sixth times the derivative of 2x plus 7 to the fourth. Right here, I noticed that I need the chain rule because my inside function is 2x plus 7. The outside is 4. Bring the 4 to the front. Subtract 1 from the exponent. And multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is 2. Next, I have 6x to the 5th times 2x plus 7 to the 4th plus 8x to the 6th, 2x plus 7 to the 3rd. Now, I need to simplify this a little bit more, so let's go ahead and apply the like a factor out of greatest common factor. Between 6 and 8, the GCF is 2. Between x to the 5th and x to the 6th, the GCF is x to the 5th. Between 2x plus 7 to the 4th and 2x plus 7 to the 3rd, the GCF is quantity 2x plus 7 to the 3rd. I've taken care of each term. So now, divide 2 out of 6, I'm left with 5. Divide x to the 5th out, it's not there anymore. Divide 2x plus 7 to the 3rd out of the quantity 2x plus 7 to the 4th. I'm left with 2x plus 7. Take 2 out of 8. I'm left with 4. Take x to the 5th out of x to the 6th. I'm left with x. The quantity 2x plus 7 cubed out of the quantity 2x plus 7 cubed is just 1. Simplify a little bit more. And then we can go ahead and combine our like terms. 10x plus 21. And we are finished. All right. This concludes video number, or the video on factoring out the greatest common factor when you have the product and chain rule.